So talk to us. I've personally, actually, believe it or not, never been to St. Thomas, and I know the Carnival is coming up there. I know nothing about it, so let's start at square one. How long is the event? What's it like for folks that have or haven't been to St. Thomas?
So St. Thomas Carnival is one of our biggest cultural events. So it gives people an opportunity to come in. It's basically a week-long activity where there's nightly free concerts with the biggest soca stars, which is the Caribbean soca version reggae concerts that happen every night. And then we have almost like a country fair kind of setup. So they're booths that have local food, drinks that are all in a big rectangle on a big stage at the one end. And then we also have two big parades that happen at the end. Those are on May 3rd and 4th, one for the children and one for the adults. We have a new attraction this year that hasn't happened in 7 years. Our horse race track has just recently opened up. So they're going to be horse racing there. So the BVI is coming in. St. Croix is going to be in. St. Thomas is going to be in. So that's expected to be massive for us. And then one of the other big events is Juve, which is on May 2nd. And all of these activities are in downtown Charlotte-Amalie, St. Thomas, where we expect to have thousands and thousands of people. We call it tramping or masquerading on the street to live bands and DJs from 4 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock noon.
Are there casinos on St. Thomas? I know there's one on St. Croix, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they're not full blown casinos, so they're video casinos. So they have them around, basically machines. But in St. Croix, there's full blown casinos, so table games and the slots.
Talk to us about the part of tourism, where to stay on the islands. And I'm not going to make you choose between the beautiful resorts and the beautiful rental homes on there, but I know there's a lot of both. And I know in particular, you were just featured for some of the homes on St. Thomas that are available for rent. What's the availability if you're looking for a vacation? Maybe it's just a couple, maybe it's a family of 5. Like, how do you evaluate this?
We as a tourism lead, we actually in a very strong boom period. So the last 3 weeks, tied in with spring break, tied in with the weather in the continental U.S. that's been kind of flaky.
Terrible.
Yeah,
let's just call it what it is,
terrible.
Right? Bad skiing weather, bad. It's been pretty bad.
So we've actually had 3 of our best weeks since COVID. I mean, we were open during COVID. Wow. Really strong. Many of the days we're at capacity. But fortunately for us, we just had a brand new property open up, which used to be the flagship property for St. Thomas, which is the Frenchman's Reef. It used to be a Marriott, but it reopened as a Westin and an autograph collection, almost 500 rooms. That's just recently opened up. And then we continue to be one of the few destinations in the Caribbean that have more sharing economy inventory rooms than traditional hotel rooms. So very strong Airbnb, VRBO, home away from home. So if you're a person that is appreciates to stay in a sharing economy place as opposed to a traditional hotel, the inventory is quite big. We also know, the week of Carnival we just spoke about is very, very tough because basically everything is sold out or almost sold out. Flights are coming in. One of the things I was just speaking with one of your coworkers on is that we've added new lift from the Boston area. So JetBlue has increased a second day in direct flight into the territory. Of course, Delta American Connect, United Connect out of the area.
I wanted to ask about that because nationwide we're hearing about the Boeing issues and how a lot of airlines are not getting the inventory of planes they need. They're cutting back some routes in some key areas. But from what I understand, you're hearing kind of doubling down a commitment from the major airlines. To the Caribbean.
I think it's a testament to clearly some of the strategic marketing moves we've made in creating our brand awareness. As you know, we have an agreement, partnership with the Boston Red Sox, Friendly Sports Marketing, of course, the stuff we do with you. So the awareness has been building in this Boston area actually for 3 or 4 years that we've been doing. And now we're starting to see the dividends where our flights in from JetBlue Direct are coming in at 98% capacity. At a yield. So this area clearly is supporting us in the USVI, and we thank everybody for doing that. We met with our airline partners last week, and the consensus with the airlines, not just JetBlue that flies direct, but the other airlines that fly in, saying the Boston area is strong for us. So we're grateful. I think the other thing that's been happening is we continue to push our brand as we are a U.S. territory. So everything that you have in Boston, in terms of U.S. dollar, cell phone works, access to high quality healthcare if you get sick, things that we used to take for granted before COVID,
Sure,
still play now. And I think people recognize that there is always access in and out because the airports and seaports have federal oversight. So you get in and out, you don't have a problem coming to the USVI. And I think the last thing I would say is that we continue to be very, we are a well-run tourism destination. So when you come in, services quality, you want to be left alone, you could stay alone. You want to mingle with the local people, you could do that. You want to do a combination, you can do that. And we're very safe. So I think people continue to see that. So if you want a vacation or you just want to get away, we definitely have all options for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was talking to somebody the other day who brought up a headline in the Bahamas of something terrible that had happened there. And maybe you can just reiterate, I think a lot of people do know the United States Virgin Islands, but we're talking about the islands of St. John, St. Thomas, and St. Croix.
Right.
And to your point, the benefits of those being a U.S. territory, right? I don't think you even need a passport to
no passport necessary, which is huge. No passport necessary. And I think one of the things we always state, particularly when I'm on the road a lot, one, that no passport, most people don't even know that, right?
Right.
So they're like,
nowhere else in the Caribbean you can travel to without a passport.
I think the second thing that we tell people that's surprising is almost over 60% of U.S. Citizens don't have a passport. So we
buy that.
We always have that one uncle or aunt you doing that trip or that one friend, and you're like, hey, we going. Oh, I don't have a passport.
Talk to you in 6 months.
Exactly. So you come to the USVI, you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
I think that the other thing that we have that's been strong for us is we continually have been building our product out. So when you get in there, if there are things to do in the day, there are attractions to do in the evening, and of course we have some of the best beaches in the world. And beautiful waters to go out on. So I think people, when they say you want a vacation, it's a great place to be. We continue to be pushing in terms of our cultural and the ability for experiences, because I think one of the things that we have evolved as a destination over the last probably decade or so, we used to be a big shopping cruise port, and we still latest ranked number one in total spend in cruise in the Caribbean in total spend. But what we're finding now is more and more people are not necessarily coming in to buy jewelry. What they want to do is spend in terms of emerging into the culture and the experience of the islands. And the other thing that continues to let me know that the millennials and Gen Z are coming strong is if you don't have a strong quote unquote postcard Instagram site visits, people are upset. I want to remember this trip. You need to have nice stuff set up that they could take that snap and post up on Snapchat or wherever else they post. So we've been doing a good job of making those things more available. And surprisingly, it's important. When you put them up, you'd be really surprised how many times you drive by a certain spot and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all those people lined up to take a picture.
It's wild. I know it's true. I've seen it before, and it's definitely the case. We've been talking with Joe Boschulte. He's the commissioner for the United States Virgin Islands Department of Tourism. He was talking to us in particular about the St. Thomas Carnival coming up April 28th through May 5th. If you don't already have a room booked, well, might already be too late, quite honestly, but big event coming up, a big cultural event, a lot of stuff to do down there coming up, and in my experience,
we actually. The next big cultural festival moves to St. John right around 4th of July. So that may be the next move. You can't do it. You can't do Carnival planned for St. John in end of June, and it finishes on July 4th.
It's again Joe Boschulte. He's the Commissioner for Tourism for the United States Virgin Islands. Join us today to talk a little bit about the goings-on down there. Joe, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thank you.